What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'll be going over my personal top 10 first baseman rankings heading into the 2024 season, so let's get into it. Wasting no time and kicking it off at number 10 is Josh Naylor, who is coming off a breakout season for the Guardians. Naylor had 17 homers, 97 RBIs, and a .308 batting average in just 121 games last year. At the young age of 26, Naylor still has room to grow his game, but he's already become an ideal cleanup hitter that doesn't have many holes in his bat. I think that the only thing that holds him back from moving higher in these ranks is his defense. It's not terrible, it's just not the strength of his game. I'm expecting a season around 20 homers with a strong average and a few steals, making him a steady choice at the position and one that the Guardians will continue to build around in the future. Moving on to number 9, I have Christian Walker, who has been a model of consistency over the past few seasons and a key piece of the Diamondback lineup. Posting 33 homers, over 100 RBI, and a respectable .258 average last year, it's clear that Walker's bat is above average at the position. He's now hit over 30 homers in consecutive seasons, and he also has drawn walks at a steady rate his whole career. He might not be the fanciest player in the world, but you know what you're going to get from him, and that's worth something. Lock in another season worth of strong power numbers, and you have yourself a top 10 first baseman in Christian Walker yet again. Now we move to number 8, where I have third-year player Tristan Cassis of the Boston Red Sox. Cassis was a highly touted prospect due to his mature approach at the plate, and it translated into 24 homers in 132 games last season. What's important to note is that Cassis completely caught fire in the second half with 15 homers and an absurd .317 average in a mere 49 games. Expecting him to produce those numbers over a full season this year is unrealistic, but he has serious 40-homer potential with a batting average that could surpass .280. If he can continue to grow as a defender, I wouldn't be surprised if he cracks the top 5 for me at some point this season. Coming in at number 7, we move to St. Louis Cardinals' longtime face of the franchise, Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie had yet another solid season at the plate, recording 25 homers and a .268 average. Now entering his age 36 season, it's reasonable to think that age regression is right around the corner, as we often see players start to rapidly decline at this time. Now, for a player like Goldschmidt, who has always been a consistent hitter, I don't think that the bottom is going to completely fall out for him or anything, but I think it's a safe bet to project that his numbers take another dip yet again. He should still be solid, but it might be his last time crocking the top 10 going forward for me. Now we find ourselves at number 6, and in this spot, I've decided to go with one of the league's purest hitters in Yandy Diaz. Diaz has always gone a little under the radar because he's always lacked power and speed despite constantly producing elite contact. Last year, though, he managed to hit 22 long balls due to a more significant fly ball approach without sacrificing average for it. This allowed him to reach another level with the bat and has made him a more complete hitter. You know he's always going to give you an average around 300, but now you can expect around 25 homers to go along with it, making him worth the 6th spot in these rankings. Now in the top 5 and at number 5, I have Pete Alonso, who is coming off a down year by his standards. Pete still managed to crank out 46 homers, which was good for 3rd in the entire league, but his average plummeted down to .217 after being over .260 in the previous 2 seasons. It's notable that he suffered a wrist injury during the middle of the season, which impacted his numbers down the stretch, and so I think that having the offseason to fully recover will serve him well. I'm expecting a bounce back in the contact department where he should hit in the .260 to .270 range with another 40-plus homer season and a ton of RBIs to go along with it. Moving on to the 4th spot, I have Blue Jays face of the franchise, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladdy put together another solid season last year with a 26-homer campaign to go along with the .264 average. The case against Vladdy at this point is that the monster 2021 season is starting to look like the outlier, but at the same time, it's important to remember that he's still only 24 years old. Many players don't even reach the major leagues until around this age, so I'm banking on the fact that we haven't seen the best from Vladdy just yet. He worked hard this offseason to get in better shape, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 35 to 40 homers, paired with a .280 average this season. Shifting over to number 3 and earning the bronze medal is Phillies superstar Bryce Harper, who just recently moved to first base last season following his UCL injury. For the season, Harper had 21 homers, a .293 average, and a .401 on-base percentage in 126 games last year. Although the power numbers seemed lackluster compared to what you would expect, Harper had an absurd 18 homers in the second half. I believe that with a long offseason to recover from that major injury he had, Harper will produce more similarly to how he did in the second half of last season. As he gets accustomed to the new position, I think he has a shot at 40 homers this year. Now in my number 2 spot and in second place is Atlanta Braves slugger Matt Olson, who had an absolutely monstrous season last year. Olson had triple-digit runs and RBI totals, smashed 54 homers, and had the best average of his career at 283. To go along with the insane hitting production, Olson is also a premium defender at the position, making him elite on both sides of the ball. Now, I don't expect Olson to repeat what he did last year, but I don't think he has to in order to be worthy of the number 2 spot. The Braves lineup is absolutely loaded, so you can lock in elite counting stats once again to go along with 40-plus homers and a solid batting average. And finally, at number 1, and the best first baseman in the entire MLB heading into the 2024 season is none other than Freddy Freeman. Freeman to me is the best pure hitter in baseball. He can hit for power and average, he draws walks, and he can hit to all fields. This is clearly evident when you look at his last season's numbers where he hit .331 to go along with 29 homers. He's also one of the best defenders on first base, but what separates him from me is his durability paired with his elite production. In the past 6 seasons, Freeman has missed a total of 13 games. Yes, only 13 games. He's just so elite and so consistent that I don't think this ranking is debatable, and he's very clearly the best first baseman in the MLB. And with that being said, that wraps up my top 10 first baseman rankings heading into the 2024 season. Let me know what rankings you agree or disagree with in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.